Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Flagler Weather Update. It is the 2nd of August, 2025. This is your weekly overview of what to expect in Flagler County as far as the weather is concerned. We'll be taking a look at our local weather, the tropics, and other things. And we usually do this twice a week. The main one over the weekend, which is what we're doing right now, and also a midweek update around Wednesday or so. So we're looking at a combined satellite lightning detection image here. And you can see that there are Flagler County being right about here. And there's a band of persistent thunderstorms up over Georgia. And this has been kind of trying to creep to the south a little bit. We got some activity here around, it looks like around closing in on Titusville maybe. And that's moving off to the north a little bit. So that's where we are starting. But let's bounce over to the tropics real quick. And right now, we don't have a whole lot going out there, but the National Hurricane Center has noted this area here, and they've given it a 30% chance of developing. So this doesn't really concern us at all because whatever's going to go on here is going to go move to the northeast and away from us. But I just want you to be familiar with these updates as they come out from the National Hurricane Center. So if you see anything yellow on the map, it's just a very low chance of developing. Does not mean it's going to develop for sure, but it just means that there's an area that they are watching. There's potential development there. Right now, low chance, 30% chance, but this is updated every 6 hours or so. So, as subsequent updates come out, there could be additional information if this has a chance of developing or not. We don't have anything else in the next 7 days to be concerned with. Taking a longer look into the future, though, things are starting to pick up. Now, all of these areas here that you see the candy stripe, if you will, the red and white stripe, this is about 20% chance of development. It does not mean that everywhere in here is going to develop. It means somewhere in this zone from August 6th to August 12th, there's a very low chance of something trying to get going here, about a 20% chance of that. So that's pretty low. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but just something that we'll, kind of need to watch over the next few days. Zoom in here a little bit, get better detail. Of course, the Eastern Pacific staying rather active there, and you start to see this solid red color. That's a good chance of developing in that region there, but we don't see that. Right now, we're just seeing that 20% chance or so, and this is from August 6th to August 12th. Now, going further on into the future, how's it looking beyond then? August 13th to August 19th, we are looking at, again, a low chance of development over the tropical Atlantic. We do have a system that's coming in off the African coast there, and it will be progressing to the west. And while it moves over that warm tropical Atlantic Ocean, there's going to be, again, there's about, again, 20% chance of developing in this area here. That's very low. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. So, there's some websites out there on the internet to try to scare you a little bit. I only use the official National Weather Service items to keep things, as they actually are. And sometimes there's a lot of unknowns because sometimes just because you don't see anything painted elsewhere doesn't mean something can't spin up in the next 7 days. So let's go ahead and get into our forecast details now, looking at Flagler County. And for our high temperatures today, got up well into the 90s, not as hot. Now for tonight, we're looking at mid-70s widely, upper 70s beaches. We get into tomorrow on Sunday, again, quite hot, but not as hot as it's been. Looking at temperatures in the lower 90s, upper 80s beaches with the east wind coming and sea breeze coming and cooling them off a little bit. And the overnight temperatures are going to be pretty much persistent through the week, through the next 7 days. So I'm not really going to focus on those. But as we go further on, looks like we're staying generally in, as we get into Tuesday now, lower 90s. And then lower 90s again. So kind of persistent temperatures, kind of what we normally see right through the week. So we're going all the way to Friday. We're still looking at highs getting into the lower 90s, maybe upper 80s beaches. And then at night, we're looking at temperatures in the mid 70s. And that's pretty persistent throughout the week. Let's go and talk about heat index now because that's Well, that's what can get you into trouble a little bit. So Sunday's maximum heat index numbers, we're looking at temperatures 105, 106 degrees, maybe near 100 at the beaches. Why is the heat index important? That's what the actual air temperature feels like. So your body is going to respond to that temperature. So if you're not hydrating enough, this is what your body's going to be responding to, not the 93 degrees, but the 105 degrees. So that's why that heat index is important. That's why when the National Weather Service does put out those heat advisories, that's why they are watching these numbers here. So as we go into the week ahead, we look to climb up a little bit, 109. This is approaching heat advisory criteria here. Monday, we get into Tuesday now, still 107 degrees, some of the hottest temperatures and our heat index numbers we're seeing there. Wednesday, we're kind of staying the same and kind of staying the same into Thursday and then into Friday. So properly hot, but not as hot as it's been. Let's talk about rainfall now and how we're going to be looking at that. So for tonight, rain chances, but we could see some showers, maybe storms tonight. We're looking at rainfall chances up to near 60% in the northeast part of the county. Lesser chances as you go further to the south. How about Sunday? How's Sunday looking? Looks like, at least as far as the National Weather Service is concerned, pretty good chances of rain all the way around, about a 75% chance, maybe a little bit less over in the southeast part of the county. As we get into Monday now, still pretty high rain chances, but you're noticing they're starting to focus more west of Bunnell, and still pretty high chances beaches, but the higher numbers west of Bunnell, and that's probably from that sea breeze pushing showers and storms inland. Looking to stay the same into Tuesday. As we get into Wednesday, pretty high rain chances, so doesn't mean it's going to rain on these high chance rain days. It doesn't mean it's going to rain every hour of the day. It just means that at some point in the day there will be a shower or a thunderstorm that will visit you. And then as we continue onward going into Wednesday, still staying pretty high in our rain chances. Things ease off at night. Thursday, again, up into the 70%, 80% chance range. And then Friday, we're going up into that 80% chance range. So let's talk about air quality right now. We're looking at good air quality in Flagler County. We don't see anything changing in that right now. Let's talk about the beaches. Right now, UV index is running very high. That cloud cover is helping temper the sun just a little bit, but very high UV index will still fry you, so make sure you're using sunblock. Water temperatures ranging from 82 to look at that 87 degrees. Check some of the local sites around here. We're holding right around 85 degrees. That is still rather warm water. So I got to call up this one website because I did forget to call it up. We're going to take a look at our longer range outlooks. Let's go 8 to 14 days here. We're going to go ahead and look further on. This takes us from August 10th into August 16th here. And we're looking at above normal temperatures here. About a 56% chance of above normal temperatures. And just a 40% chance of above normal precipitation as we go into the middle part of August. And as we go further back here, let's go ahead and take a look at the month of August as a whole. And let me move things around so we can get it accurately here. So we're looking at still the trend of above normal temperatures to continue, and the trend of above normal precipitation also to continue. So just one more thing before we sign off here, take a look at satellite imagery and from the National Weather Service, and we'll go ahead and back up a little bit. Let's back up one more time here, and we're going to take a look at the radar. This is the radar as of now, and you can see quite active to the north of us there. There are some showers and maybe some thunderstorms that are trying to get closer, but they're very slow and staying dry down here in Flagler County. Here's some of the activity we saw earlier right near Titusville. So that and they've been getting a lot of rain up here. As a matter of fact, there's still flood warnings up in this area of Georgia here, and there's flood advisories up here. Pretty persistent, heavy rainfall going on, especially along I-10 and further to the north. So this activity might try to creep down this way later on this evening if it holds together. We'll have to see if it holds together. So that's going to wrap things up. I appreciate everyone taking time to tune in with us. If you're just joining us, you can rewind this. Plus, I'll be posting the YouTube link as well. So everybody have a great evening. Thank you for tuning in. Any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll get to them later. Have a great evening.